Good morning. It is Monday morning. I hope everybody is doing well, and I am going to show you what I listed over the weekend. Not too much. Again, I was kind of busy with, I don't know, house things and recovering from a trip to see my mother-in-law, which is always, I love seeing her, but it's a little bit stressful because the car ride, sorry, my printer's going. It's an hour and a half drive. And we had my sister-in-law with us, so I was like in this really tiny back seat all cramped up for an hour and a half, and I get really stiff in the car, so I spent some time just kind of recovering once we got home. But anyway, let me show you what I listed, and then I'll show you what I'm packing. Okay, first up is this big metal crucifix, which I think is pewter. It is not iron, even though it's black on the back. I thought it was going to be iron, but it's not. I think it might be pewter. Has kind of a soft silver finish. It's a little bit, it's got some scratches on it, but now what I found out was this is casket hardware, which is weird. But it's a pretty crucifix that you could just hang on the wall if you were so inclined. And it was made by a company that was active from the early 1900s up through, I think, the 80s, 82, something like that. And little side note is the site of the company, this metalworks company that made this casket hardware, is now an EPA Superfund site. It's like totally polluted with, they were describing all the gross stuff they found on the grounds, all these rusty barrels full of horrible chemicals. So anyway, that really is neither here nor there, but kind of interesting thing I ran across when I was researching. Okay, then I listed this cup, which I really couldn't find out too much about it. I think that it's European, possibly French. I found a lot of French metal cups that were this exact shape. The engraving, it's got these little flowers on it. Looks kind of, I don't know, that reminds me of German. So I think this is probably European. I think it's probably tin with a very thin copper coating maybe. It's unmarked. It's got this Victorian handle. Anyway, I listed that for, where'd it go? Okay, I've lost it now. Dadgummit. $24. And these prices are free shipping. And I listed this tiny little pair of turquoise and coral. I believe I said, maybe in the whole video, I might have said they were Navajo, but they're actually Zuni needlepoint style. Little earrings, little clip earrings, sterling silver. And those I listed for $32. And then this little Thunderbird, sterling silver and turquoise tie tack. And that I listed for $19. Okay, so here is what I'm shipping off this morning. Sales do continue to be a little on the slow side, but I had one really good sale early this morning, so I'll tell you about that in a minute. First, I have this California pottery, very mid-century mint green and pink bowl, and this is by, I can't see it, it's Lane and Company out of Van Nuys, California, and this style is Copa de Oro. These little squiggles are in kind of a gold paint. And that sold for $37, free shipping, so shipping's going to be pretty high on that, I think. And then I sold this lot of 3 pair of shell earrings. There's like some mother of pearl shell-shaped ones here, some abalone ones here, and just some little shell dangles here, and those sold for $18, free shipping. And then the big sale was I sold 4 of these Victorian coat hooks. They were salvaged, I believe, from a hall tree. And the 4 of them, the price on it was $140, shipping overseas to the UK. The calculated shipping for these poor people was over $70. They did send a note saying, could I maybe get a break on the shipping? Yes, definitely. It's not going to cost that much. They are really heavy, so it does cost a bit to ship them, but not that much. So I will be giving them a partial refund on their shipping. So, that's it for today. Good morning. It is Tuesday morning, and as is my custom, I shall show you what I listed yesterday, and then I'll show you what I'm shipping off today. Okay, so first up, we have this lovely turquoise and sterling silver Native American Navajo pendant necklace. It is signed. There you can see it is signed. Come on, there we go. FJM Idaho Sterling. I have not been able to figure out who this is. I had a suggestion from a viewer of who it might be, and it sounded so promising. The work of this person does not look consistent with this, but I only found a few little things, and so I contacted the artist to see if, and sent him a picture to see if he can verify whether that's his mark or not. So we'll see. Oh, I'm sorry, and I listed that for $68, and I listed this, no, that's not right. Is that right? 68, okay, yeah, here we go. Alright. Discombobulated. Okay. And this Zuni inlay ring with, let's see if I can get a little better focus on it. This is picture jasper and tiger's eye, just a little tiny sliver of tiger's eye and onyx, and a very nice ring. It's very nicely done. And that I listed for $65. This Murano Millefiori paperweight. It's in great condition. And that I listed for $68, and these prices are all free shipping. And then last I listed this Victorian or possibly early 20th century deep well wooden picture frame, and that I listed for $49. So here is what I'm packing up to ship today. This lot of old doorknobs, metal doorknobs, 5 of them. I sold those for $38, and these are all free shipping. Sold this lovely reverse carved crystal Victorian pendant, and that sold for $38 also. And then this beautiful cameo. Instead of the usual lady face, it's a flower, which I just love. I thought this was absolutely gorgeous. And that sold for $95. It is, I can't remember, is this gold, white gold, or silver? It is sterling silver. Yeah. Really pretty one. Good morning. It is Wednesday morning, and I am here to show you what I listed yesterday and what I sold yesterday. I'm getting ready to pack up. I had 3 orders yesterday, which doesn't sound like a lot, but 2 of them were for multiple items, like lots of multiple items, so I will be excited to show you that. And here's what I listed. I listed the second of these 2 frames that I bought at the flea market for $4 a piece. This one was not in as good a condition. It's got quite a few little chips and losses on it, but I touched it up. I used my gold leaf pen to touch up that inner ring and make it gold again, and then I just used a Sharpie to kind of color in the areas where plaster had chipped. And it's, you know, I mean, it's still shabby chic, I guess, but it looks better. And I did price it lower than the other frame, which was in better condition. So then I have this batch of old doorknobs. The last batch sold, so I figured I'd put these up. These are the last ones I have. It's 5 sets. One of them is really nice. It's like brushed nickel doorknobs, and they're in pretty good condition. The other ones are pretty dinged up, but I think they might be able to be polished if you have the right equipment. And let's see, as far as jewelry goes, I did these little Zuni heart earrings. Let's see if we can get them to focus. Really beautiful stone inlay work on these. They've got turquoise and coral, spiny oyster, malachite, lapis, and sodalite, I think. I think those are the stones. Sometimes it's kind of hard when you have such tiny pieces to identify them, but I'm pretty sure that's what they are. Now, these do have a condition issue in that one of the dangles is missing on one of the earrings, and also the very end is broken off another dangle. So I did price them a little lower, well, quite a bit lower than I would have ordinarily for such pretty earrings. And you know, when you're wearing them, you can't really tell. I would wear them. But I don't know, you know, some people might be turned off by that. And I thought about, you know, doing some rearranging of dangles so each one had 3. You know, take off this broken one and then replace it with one from over here and move them around. But then I decided, oh, I don't know. Would that really make it that much better? I don't know. So we're just going to see if they sell like that. And then the last thing was this jade heart, which I did test it with my gem tester, and it does test as nephrite jade. It looks like jade to me, and it's very, very cold. The disappointing part of this is that these beads are not silver. I thought they would be because I bought, this came in that sterling silver lot. So far this is the only piece that has turned out to not be silver. You know, I'm not going to get too bent out of shape about that. So let's see. The frame I listed for $39, and the doorknobs for $38, and these earrings for $32, and this necklace for $22. All free shipping. Okay, so here is what I am packing up to ship today. The best sale was I sold this beautiful inlaid wood jewelry box, which I think that the box is an antique and that the inside was fitted later, because the inside just looks really new, but this box looks really old. So beautiful. I sold that for $199 to one of my very best customers. Thank you so much if you're watching. And sold it for $199. I paid $15 for it at the flea market, because the guy really didn't want to pack it up and take it home. It was toward the end of the day, and so yeah, that was a good deal. And then also to this same person, I sold, this is a hand-painted mother of pearl pendant, which I already had. It's so fragile, I went ahead and put it in bubble wrap before I put it in the in inventory. So I'm not going to open it, but I'll slide in a picture. That came from my sister-in-law, and that sold for $39. And then I also sold this little advertising tea strainer, so cute, for the Jones drugstore, probably from the 20s to 30s. And that sold for $19, and I think I probably paid about $5 for it. Sometimes I just can't resist these little advertising things. That's okay. And then the next person bought all of these beaded necklaces. There's 5 of them here. They range in price from $14 to $24. All of these I've had a really long time. Probably many of them came from my sister-in-law. She has sent me lots of this type of jewelry over the years. A lot of it is made in Japan or made in Germany, West Germany. And the total price of all 5 of the necklaces was $88. Free shipping. This is all free shipping. And then the third buyer bought 2 of these primitive boxes with sliding lids. Oops, sorry, my batteries ran out. These boxes sold for $38 a piece. I had 4 of them originally, and I believe I got all 4 for $10. Again, it was somebody at the flea market that was trying to get rid of bulky items so they didn't have to pack them up. You can see I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to package these things. Etsy recommended doing 2 separate packages using the tube But once I have bubble wrap around this, I don't think it's going to fit in this tube. So this should be challenging. Probably spend the whole morning packing up all these bulky items, but I guess it's worth it. Pretty good profit margin. I can't complain about that. It is Thursday morning, and I'm going to show you what I listed yesterday and what I'm shipping off today. Okay, so first off we have these sterling silver Native American stamped earrings with the little dangles. They are marked QT, which is Qual Turquoise, which is a shop in Albuquerque. It's not, I think, not a particular designer or maker, but a shop. But almost certainly Native American made. I did put a really low price on these because some of the dangles are not in great shape. There's one dangle's missing and a couple have missing beads. But somebody clever could fix these up. I looked at them for a while and tried to figure how I could improve them, and then decided I wasn't clever enough to do it or motivated enough. Anyway, so I have these priced at $22. And we have this pretty Navajo mother of pearl ring, sterling silver. Come on. It's kind of focused. That I listed for $28. And then this cute little botanical print. Let's see if I can get it without so many reflections on it. Well, you can kind of see it anyway. It's so sweet, and I spent quite a bit of time trying to figure out who might have published it and when, but I came up empty. But it looks like it's pretty old. Anyway, I listed that for $32. And then the last thing I listed, something with more reflections on it, is this original chalk pastel painting, probably from about the 1920s. And it is signed by an artist named Paul Henry. Let's see if you can. I don't know how to get the reflections off of that. There, that's better. Anyway, Paul Henry. Well, it turns out that there's a Paul Henry who's an Irish artist, who is clearly not this artist. Makes it very hard to search for any other Paul Henrys. It's probably not anybody famous, but just a cute little painting, and it's got that long horizontal shape and a nice little Art Deco frame. Really cute. Anyway, I listed that for $65, I think. 62, 65, something like that. And here's what I am shipping off today. These lovely little Zuni inlay earrings, which I just listed a couple days ago, or maybe yesterday. And those sold for $32, but the buyer used a coupon code to get 10% off. And you can do that too. Just look down at the description and you can find the coupon code to get 10% off any order over $25, I think. And I sold another necklace. You know, I could go months without selling a beaded necklace, and then all of a sudden I'm selling a whole bunch of them. This is a rather extravagant multi-chain mid-century. There's plastic pearly purple beads. It's really wild. And that one sold for $22. And then this lead crystal candle holder. I don't know the maker of it, but it's very nice. And that sold for $25. And then I sold this, it's a filet crochet small luncheon tablecloth, and that sold for $28. I will pop in a picture of it so I don't have to unwrap it. And that's it for today.
Yeah. Alright. Here we are at dinner at the Crooked Duck, and we're gonna go see Hare in just as soon as we gobble this food down, because like they took forever to get the food here. But check out the tie-dye There's Carolyn.
We appreciate
Guys
our
know
bridge
Carolyn?
teachers.
And
We
the-
appreciate.
Yes, this is in appreciation. Carolyn's treating everyone to her bridge teachers.
The most patient people.
Not me. I'm just a benefiting spouse. Rob, does it turn square?
Good morning. It is Saturday morning, and I am here to show you what I've listed over the past 2 days. I didn't film a video yesterday morning because I didn't have any sales, but I have some today to show you. So I'll show you what I listed, and then I'll show you what I sold. Okay, this is this vintage shisha fabric with the tiny little mirrors in it and the silk embroidery. It's only about a yard's worth. I listed that in my Carolinic shop. The link for that shop is down below. It's where I put craft supplies and handmade items. And I listed this, I think I listed it for $19. And everything is free shipping. And then we have these sterling silver and turquoise earrings, which they are signed L, and that mark is tentatively connected to Larry Begay, but I'm not positive. It's not. These are not atypical of his work, but also not really. He normally does a lot of the needlepoint turquoise, like really extravagant needlepoint turquoise, but this does have a couple of little needlepoint sized turquoises in it, so it could be. And I did see a couple of other pieces that had feather motifs, so could be Larry Begay. But anyway, those I listed for $29. And then this, you might recall I showed on the eBay haul of jewelry that it's a single earring. It is signed by Kenneth Bitsy. Beautiful. I would have thought it was Zuni, but it's actually Navajo. So I turned it into a necklace. Oops. See if I can get it going there. I manipulated the back and turned it into a bail and put a chain on it. This is the best I could do for it. And I listed it at a really low price. And it sold right away. And that sold for $27. Sorry, I'm sniffly this morning. Then we have a turquoise pendant that's kind of in the shape of a flower. And this one is signed SF. And that mark belongs to, Steve Francisco, I think is the name. And that I listed for $34. And then this is a sterling silver, and this is, I think, a Poway shell, something like that. It's a beautiful iridescent stone. And this is from Wheeler Manufacturing. Look who's here to visit. Hey, Muffin, look up. Look up. There she is. Hi, Muffin. Anyway, okay, Wheeler Manufacturing is a company that provides merchandise for tourist shops in the Southwest. And this, clearly looks like a Navajo ring, but there's no guarantee that it's a Navajo artist. I'm imagining that it probably is. They probably buy from Navajo artists or Native American artists, but they may not. It's hard to say. But anyway, it is marked WM for Wheeler Manufacturing. And I listed that for $35. And then these are the antique magnets. Right there. Did a little bit of research on these. It's really hard to see, but these are marked on the lid. It says
LE Knot Apparatus Company, Boston. And I actually found one other example of this, so I was able to provide a text for what this actually said on the lid. It says bar magnets, something, something, something. And there's a whole little paragraph of information. But anyway, the LE Knot Manufacturing Company, I couldn't find any evidence that it existed past 1930. And it was founded in the late 1800s, and they specialized in scientific equipment, mostly for educational settings. And if you look at pictures of their equipment, a lot of it is really fantastical looking stuff. Victorian, kind of almost steampunk looking machines and things. So I think that these are pretty old. They also have some of the previous owners' names scratched in here and here. And this one, 46, I'm assuming, is the year of their possible graduation. Anyway, cool little piece of history. And I listed those for $35. And then we have the screen with the carved, I think these may be soapstone. I'm not sure what kind of stones these are. But anyway, I fixed the hinge on this, and I listed that screen for $135. And I think that's it. And here's what I'm packing up today. Here's this, this is a DuPont Lucite box. It's not what I would have thought of as Lucite, but it is. It's really early Lucite. And that sold for $14. And that was, oh yeah, it's free shipping. Because the same person also bought this necklace, which, as I mentioned, was $27. And then the last item is this, no, second to last item is this copper cuff bracelet, which was also, I think, $14. And then I also sold a set of 4 ottoman prints for $91, although the shipping on that's going to be huge. And I already packed them up, but I'll show you a picture of them. This is our brand new main library. I'm trying not to show any kids, so showing you up high, but it is, oops, pretty cool. We just bicycled down here to take a look at it.